Well, hello, my fellow trucketeers. How the devil is everyone? So, I've brought you all here to talk about my balls. Right, so obviously you saw in Monday's vlog that I used to be an avid bowler, 10-pin bowler, and that was very much my sport. I was pretty good at it. I wouldn't say I was like to professional standards, but not far off. I had an average of 181. Most professionals are about 215 to 230 on average, roughly. So, yeah, we used to do pretty well. We used to bowl in a couple of leagues, and yeah, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about, well, a couple of bits I have, and yeah, what I used to do. And I got a couple of videos of 2 games I played when I had my, this ball here, my Storm Rain of Fire bowling ball. When I had that re-drilled, I played a couple of games of it and filmed it. The only video footage I've got of me bowling, but we'll make use of it. So this bowling ball is Storm Rain of Fire. Oh, there we go. Fun fact about Storm bowling balls, they're all scented as well. They used to have a tangerine smell to it, but it's all gone. Kind of shiny now. It used to be dull. I've got to resurface it really. It's drilled for fingertip bowling. So thumb goes right in. Oh, it's got another hole there which is for weight balance, and then literally fingertips. And then, yeah, it's a 16-pound bowling ball, so as heavy as you can get. It's quite scuffed up because the lanes and handover are quite rough, and I went there the other day and they're not ideal. So, it's fingertip bowling, which is how you have the ball drilled when you bowl hook, as I do. So the ball goes up the lane and curves in at the last minute. Why do we bowl like that? Because what you want to do, ideally, if you hit the head pin straight on, you're going to end up leaving the last 4 pins at the end, in the corners. I can't remember what numbers they are. The 6, 10, 7, and 4 pins. So yeah, that makes it rather difficult to split. So the ideal way to get a strike is to go in between pins 1 and 3 if you're right-handed, and 1 and 2 if you're left-handed, and that's what they call the pocket. So it's a more efficient way of breaking the pins because the ball tends to go through the pins like that, and it spreads them out better, and it just makes them break. You're more guaranteed to get a strike if you get it right. So yeah, so I used to bowl hook, and that's that. So the red ball is a reactive ball. So the cover stock on this ball is designed to pick up oil, which helps the ball grip. So as it spins through the oil, it then gets down to the grippy pot later on in the lane, because the lanes are only oiled so far up. Then as soon as it hits the grippy bit, it goes whoomp like that and goes straight in through that pocket and breaks the pins. So it takes a little bit of skill to do, but you get used to it after a while. So yeah, I think the highest game I ever had was a 238, which is pretty good. Used to get over 200 fairly regularly. Maybe if I'd done it for a few more years, I would have probably got better. Maybe an average of over 200. I was one of the better ones in the league I played in. Used to play in the youth league when I was 16. Done that. My mates, dad and grandma used to run that. And yeah, I got pretty good. I actually won my first season there, which was quite fun. But I used to just bowl straight then. Yeah. And then this is my other ball, which is a polyester ball, so it's got a harder outer coating, and this one doesn't grip. So got a white dot on there, which means it's just a normal standard bowling ball. The Columbia 300, just a generic one I bought off my mate's granddad, funny enough, for not a lot of money. So this one I use for the spare, picking up my spares. So the red ball generally, because I'm right-handed, will always hook over to the left-hand side of the lane. So it's difficult for me to get any pins that are left up on the right-hand side of the lane, and that's what this ball's for. I just want to carry on to slip as it goes through the oil. So yeah, or onto the dry bit of the lane. So yeah, 2 different bowling balls, 2 different jobs, but they're all there to help me get as high score as possible. I do have a third ball which is not drilled for my hand at the moment. I need to sand out all the thumb holes in my balls because my thumb's obviously gotten bigger where I've gotten older. But yeah, no, I've played a couple of games recently which have been quite fun, but the lanes and handover have not been oiled very well, so it has scratched my ball up somewhat. So this ball has a core in the centre of it as well, which helps the ball sort of rotate as it spins. So as it slips through the oil, it changes its axis as it spins, so it's designed to sort of move the oil around and grip up a little bit. That's what that one does. We'll put that away now, and we'll get into the game. So there we go. Yep, even got my own bowling shoes as well, with a shoe slide on it to help me go up the lanes. It's a bit nicer to have your own shoes that fit properly rather than using the house shoes, which are a bit gross. So yeah, there's my bowling balls. There's that. So yeah, 10-pin bowling was very much my sport. And like I said, I was reasonably good at it. I was probably about the third or fourth best player in the league I bowled in, which the league was a 190 average league, so if you scored anything under 190, you used to get a handicap put on up to a maximum of 50 points or 50 pins or something, or 40 or whatever it was, I can't remember. It's been a while. 2012 I stopped bowling, or 2013, something like that, about that sort of time, which is annoying. I'd like to do it again, but I don't think it's going to happen, because my job just doesn't allow me to do it, and most bowling places around in the UK won't do leagues on a weekend because that's when they get most punters in. So yeah, I would like to join a league again, but I can't see it happening. I almost joined the BTBA at one point as well, which is a British 10-pin bowling association. But at the time when I was going to join it, there wasn't many places around where you could go to that actually playing proper, like, I suppose, championship games or whatever it is, or ranked games or whatever. But you used to have to play so many a year to be able to keep in the BTBA. And like I said, it would have been too far travelling for me to do that all the time. I can't remember what the closest one was to Andover. But yeah, that's that. I realised my microphone's all over there, so you probably couldn't hear me that well. But we can adjust that. So we will get into the games. So let me get that all set up, and then we'll run through the games. Right, so here we go. Let's have a go at voiceover and the stuff. So this is me bowling. We got some music playing in the background, but here we go. So we've used the main ball, and then we've used the spare ball. As you can see, it picks up my stuff on the right hand side of the lane. So we're hook bowling out to the right. Obviously get into that pocket to hit the head pin and pin 3. And that gets a nice thing. Went Brooklyn that time, which is when you go the wrong side of the head pin. So this is bowling in Newbury. I think it was a Riverside Bowl. Used to have a pro shop there, and that's actually where I got the holes, the finger holes in the ball drilled. But I don't think he's there anymore. So again, went Brooklyn that time, but we still got the strike. I was always pretty good at picking up my spares, but we did have a problem with the ball not coming back then, so I had to chuck a couple of house balls down to then get my ball to come back, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but kind of screwed up my score a little bit there. So we had to wait a few minutes for my ball to come back. So starting again. This is the first day after I had this ball drilled as well, so it was literally, I played 4 games that day just to have a play with my new bowling ball, really. Yeah, had a bit of a miss there. Here we go, this one was a good one. Straight into the pocket, bang, knocks the ball down. As you can see how good it is when you hit that pocket, bang on, how good it is at knocking all the pins down. And again, just pile drive straight through them. Got a turkey there, 3 strikes in a row. And a bit unfortunate there. But we done well. Just missed that for a head pin there. That was the first game. 198 we scored. Straight into the second game, first ball. Cooked in a little bit soon, leaving 2 pins. And used the spare ball again. We actually have that spare again in the next frame, but I picked it up a slightly different way. So again, straight through the head pin, left 2 pins up, through the green ball, and this time it goes the other side of that pin. Collects the spare. I was always pretty good at getting me spares. It's amazing how much you can score by just getting spares. I actually scored more in this game, but I got 1 less strike. That was a bit of an unfortunate split that. Wouldn't have got that one. So the pins wouldn't re-rack, so I turned my camera off to save battery and forgot to turn it back on for the last frame. So we did actually pick up a strike in that one. As you can see, I had the X when the pins reset there. Maybe you believe me or not, I don't care, but here we go. Another strike. There's a 9. Then, because the pins are on, the spare pin is on the left hand side, I can actually use my red ball for that, because it hooks in. Hooked in a bit early again, left the pin on the right hand side, so now green ball, because that one doesn't hook as much, as you can see. Red ball again, hit a 9 again. Again on the right hand side, so we used the green ball. And another 9. Bit unfortunate. Green ball again. Pick up the spare. There we go. Now there's a nice 10th frame. Obviously if you get a strike or a spare in the 10th frame, you get another go. If you get 2 strikes, you then get a 3rd go. So we actually clean up quite nicely here. 1 strike, 2 strike. And we go for a turkey in the 3rd go on the 10th frame to clean up with a max score of 201. Right, there you go. So you can get a look at how I was when I was bowling. It wasn't too bad, to be fair. I was alright. Actually got my other ball out, which is a Brunswick, Brunswick Zone, which is a reactive ball. It's got a red dot there, which says it's somewhat reactive. The other one's got a yellow dot, which means it's even more. But yeah, this one's drilled the same, but my thumb doesn't fit in there anymore. It's been a while since I've used this one. As soon as I got the red ball, I stopped using this one pretty much, but the red one's really reactive. This one's not quite as reactive, and then the green one's just polyester, so it just goes straight pretty much. But there you go, that's bowling. This an insight into a hobby of mine, a game I used to like playing, a sport I used to love playing. Yeah, I've got to try and get down the lanes a little bit more, but unfortunately a lot of places don't look after the lanes quite as well these days, so they don't oil them as much, so it makes it difficult. It's kind of touch and go whether the lanes are actually maintained very well. Depends on how well I can bowl. Racing driver excuses and all that. So yeah, it makes a hell of a difference when you bowl like that to how they maintain the lanes. But yeah, next time you go bowling, go there, go have a look. Have a look at the lanes and have a look at where you stand. If you notice where you stand, where you pick the balls up from, where the ball returners, you'll see all the dots on the floor. They're there for you to stick your feet so you can line up at the same place every time. So a lot of people just pick up the ball and just chuck it down the lane and think nothing of it. But next time when you go, just sort of have a sit there and think and have a look down the lane. Use them dots that are on where you stand to sort of line your feet up. Try and stand in the same place. If the ball's not going quite the way you want it, try and adjust where you stand. That's what them dots are for. And then when you're looking down the lanes at the pins, you don't actually look at I don't look at the pins at all. What you do is there's a whole bunch of arrows on the lanes, sort of a few feet in front of you. Try and aim for them arrows, not the pins, because the pins are too far away for you to sort of make a good judgment on. So try and aim at a particular arrow on the lane, throw across that. If you can hit it and it goes in the same place each time, it'll help your game. So that's a little bit of advice for you. But yeah, bowling was a sport I used to love. That was that. They were 2 games that I filmed back in, there must have been 2011 that was, so poor quality camera I had, only a cheap thing I had, so the quality's not there, but it was fun, so yeah. There we go, I hope you enjoyed it, a little insight into a sport I used to like playing, and yeah, maybe some of you might pick it up, who knows. Have you ever been bowling? Let me know in the comments below. So yeah, that's that, take it easy, look after yourselves, bowl safely, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.